Yeah. Yeah, really looking forward to entering MAC play and where we are right now. And really for us, kind of starting a new season, kind of getting out of conference play a little bit and getting into the Mid-American Conference and some familiar faces and some common opponents. And we got a big test on the road this week at a very well-coached Eastern Michigan squad. Coach Chris Creighton does a phenomenal job with his team. They're 2-1 on the season, had a big road win against Arizona State, ran the ball very, very well, played two different quarterbacks, but were extremely efficient on first and second down in the run game. And defensively, very sound, holding that explosive offense that Arizona State has to really a limited number of points. And then on ST, I thought they kicked the ball very, very well. Big challenge in front of us. We know there's a lot of things that got to be true about your team when you go on the road. This is going to be a little bit of a common theme for us with as many road games as we have this year coming up, leading into conference play. And for us right now, where we are is just trying to put this entire 60 minutes together. We've had two back-to-back weeks where we have had leads and the ball in the fourth quarter and did not come away with the result that we wanted at the end of the game. Very confident in the group of guys that we have, the plan that we're putting together, and the enthusiasm and the mindset and attitude of the guys and how they practice today to just put ourselves in a very healthy and good position. You know, we're up 19-17 at Coastal Carolina. We had a couple miscues there at the end of the game. We don't come away with the win, but the confidence and really the trust in that locker room is really unshaken. I thought the guys bounced around very, very well. We know we just got to make those last few plays and those last critical moments to put ourselves in that ultimate position to go get that W. And this team is extremely hungry, and they're extremely humble and extremely focused to get that done.
Coach, talk about practice. It seemed like a very spirited practice out there. You guys running around.
Yeah, I think, you know, the reality for us right now is we know we're better than what our record is. And, you know, the record is the record right now. We're not pleased with that whatsoever. But the confidence and the conviction that this team has is very evident in how they go about their business. There's no long faces. Guys know that we're right there on the edge. And again, you deal with the disappointment of not actually getting that W last week when we snapped the ball 93 times really versus their 53 plays that they ran. We snapped the ball 40 more times than our opponent. We just didn't get the W. We did a phenomenal job on defense getting the 4 takeaways in one game. You snap it 40 more times than your opponent, you get 4 takeaways in the game. You really should put yourself in a position to win. Didn't come away with the win, but we have strong leadership in that locker room. We have a lot of older veteran guys that have been through ups and downs of a season, and we're excited about, we're 0-0 in the MAC, and really we know that when we get into conference play, it's up for grabs, and we have to consistently perform and execute and improve our roster and the play of our roster on a weekly basis. And I think we've done that from week 1 to 2. We improved from Maryland to Holy Cross, came up short at the end of the game. We've improved from 2 to 3, really controlling the entire game up until the last critical moments. And now we have to finish. And I think this team really understands where we are and what we have to do next.
With the team starting 0-3 as you prepare for your conference schedule, do you still need to make changes to prepare for the MAC schedule?
No, I think you're always in a leadership role. You're always looking at, what adjustments need to be made, whether it's scheme, whether it's personnel, whether it's how we structure practice. You're always looking at what needs to be adjusted because it's always a moving body. Nothing stays stagnant in this game. You never stay the same in anything that you do. So we're always looking for ways to improve and grow. And I think any changes that we make are all for, any adjustments that we make will always be for the purpose of improving and growing as a staff and improving and growing the roster and the play and the product on the football field. We have a lot of confidence in how we go about our daily business, but we're always starting with ourselves. You self-scout yourself first. What have you put on film? What is likely to show up on film based off of what you've put on film? And then you kind of match that with what your opponent does, and you come up with a great game plan. But we're always in the growth category in terms of how do we need to adjust or change or to improve little things to grow.
What ways have you maybe seen growth from week 1 to 2 to 3?
I think from a defensive standpoint, you look at our ability to take the ball away. We talk about starting fast a lot in our program. First play of the game against Coastal Carolina is a takeaway. We have 3 takeaways in the first, 8 or 7 possessions. And you look at a team that's hungry getting after the football. That's something that wasn't evident and true a week ago when we played Holy Cross. You look at the explosive plays that we've been able to create from the Maryland week to the Holy Cross last week, very evident. And then continuing to be able to build on that from the Holy Cross week to the Coastal Carolina week. Certain things that we really tried to put an emphasis on moving from week to week. Those things, those players have taken ownership of those things, and they have made those things true about our team. Again, there are things that we want to continue to correct. I think we have to tackle better. We had a few missed tackles against Holy Cross. We got the number down really in half against Coastal Carolina, but still had a couple misfits that led to some long plays. But the thing I love about this team right now is the things that we present them with. They take ownership in them. There's accountability, and they're really intentional in terms of how to correct and grow and improve those things. But from a tangible standpoint, being able to take the ball away, being able to improve on our explosive plays have been two big things that our team's done a really good job with.
You might have just answered this with the tackling, but you emphasized the explosive plays for week 2, and you did that. And then taking the ball away, you emphasized that, and then you did that. What's kind of the emphasis now to turn this around and get a win this week?
Yeah, the big thing for us is finish. I think right now it's probably about really where we are right now as a program is how do we finish? What do we need to do? And, we meet with the leadership group on a weekly basis. Love talking to those older guys and having real tangible conversations with where they are in a headspace, what needs to be done next. And you're always looking as a coach at how can you grow and improve things for them. We had some really healthy conversations about some things that we're going to implement throughout the week. Don't want to give away really the whole game plan. But those older guys, through conversations and through how we structured a couple things in practice, I think the message for our team right now is to finish, really finishing in the fourth quarter. We've been in a position where we've had the lead and the ball and made some critical mistakes, whether play, and I would also say some mistakes in coaching that we want to correct, and it's a shared responsibility that we take ownership in, and then we look to, just continue to grow moving forward. And I think we're in a healthy place because of the trust that we have. We're able to have those real conversations and then apply what we need to apply to make certain things true about our team.
In that vein, what does the team need to do to finish, whether it's drives, whether it's games, whether it's plays?
Yep, do your job and execute. We got to coach, we got to play, we got to execute, right? We got to make sure we call number one, from a schematic standpoint, that we give the right calls in the right situations to put our guys in a position to be successful. Number two, as a player, my job is always preparing and performing, right? How do I prepare myself to be my best, and how do I perform? If I'm supposed to be in the A gap, be in the A. If I'm supposed to chip and protect on the outside, chip and protect on the outside. Just do your job and do it very well. So we're not playing three really solid or good quarters of football and not executing in the fourth. And I think more than anything, it's about just executing and doing our job in the fourth quarter so we can, maintain those leads that we've been having and finish opponents all the way through.
How do you evaluate Cole Snyder's play through the first 3 games?
I think he's improved from training camp to week 1 against Maryland. A little bit of hesitation, getting comfortable, getting the timing. When you talk about quarterback play, you're talking about also the other 10 guys around him because, our ability to protect him makes him more comfortable. The timing that they have to get down with the receivers on the outside, Justin and Q. The one thing I love about Cole, he's a great leader. He takes those receivers, watches extra film with those guys, get the steps down, whether it's on, hey, I need this to be 3 steps. I need this to be 6 yards. I need this to be 8 steps and bang it. So the timing and the spacing and the leadership that he's provided has continued to grow. And I think his decision-making, we had 2 really probably uncharacteristic interceptions that we had against Coastal, and really want to have those plays back in. We saw him, and as soon as he had those occur, he knew him coming off the sideline. Like, it just wasn't there. The look wasn't there. Wasn't what we wanted. We threw the ball to the other team, but the response that he had and the resolve that he has to play a full game, I'm really proud of how he's handled himself. We can win a lot of games with Cole Snyder. We also feel very confident in the other guys in the room, but he's got a lot of confidence because of how he prepares. Our team has confidence in him. We just got to continue to improve the play around him, play great complementary football, get the 3 and outs and stops on defense, give us great field positioning on offense, and continue to have the nice flow and tempo that we've been able to have really from week 1 to 2 and 2 to 3.
What does the offensive line need to do in front of Cole? It's a pretty new unit. He's been sacked 10 times. How does this offensive line still need to come together?
Yeah, I think when you look at a sack, it's so easy to point to, hey, it's just a guard or it's just a tackle. There's a lot of equations that go into it. We have 60 and 70 protections where, maybe it's a running back in protection. Maybe it's a tight end and a running back in protection. Maybe we're supposed to chip in these plays. I think when you look at the full body of work, there's a few times where Cole's probably need to get the ball out of his hand, held on to it a couple times, and we took a couple sacks that were really unnecessary for us. A couple times where maybe the spacing and the timing of a route and the route didn't break when Cole was ready to throw the ball, which can throw off the release and the timing, which the throw game is all timing and spacing, which causes you to hold on the ball a little bit longer, which can cause a sack. A couple times we've gotten beat up front. A couple times we had some protection with 60 and 70 protections that just weren't clean, and we didn't have a clean pocket. So it's not any one individual. We've been very good here since I've been here in terms of protecting the quarterback, being one of the least giving up sack teams in the nation last year. Feel very confident in the plans that we have. We just got to get the whole timing down around him. But we're moving in the right direction in terms of protection, in terms of our throw game, in terms of being able to push the ball down the field. Justin and Q and Cole Harity and Jamari Gassett, tight ends are doing a good job. There's a lot of confidence in our ability to get the timing and the spacing down in our throw game, push the ball over the top, create first downs and touchdowns.
Coach James Patterson now in top 10 school tackles in history. What are you going to need from him and his defense going into conference play?
Yeah, more. Continue to, this is your senior year, and we've had these discussions with him. He's a phenomenal player and a phenomenal leader, and just pour everything out that you have right now into this team. Pour everything that you have in you onto this football field, so you're always emptying the tank. That's what he's been doing. But we want our big-time players. We challenge those guys. We want our big-time players to, it's maybe not, I don't want to get into coach speak in terms of step up, but continue to raise your level of play. As a player, you're always looking to improve. As a coach, we're always trying to get them better. I had 30-year-old DBs when I was with the Dallas Cowboys, and all they wanted to know is, how could you get me better, coach? What do I need to do? Maybe a 3-inch step here or a 6-inch step here. And we're just trying to continue to get him better, continue to let his play be infectious to the guys around him. His leadership continue to pour out to the guys around him and help James Patterson raise the level of play of the guys around you that maybe don't have as much experience that you have. And then be you. Be exactly who you are. Be a playmaker. Be striking at the point of attack. Be violent at the point, and continue to put an emphasis on getting the ball back, which he was able to do last week for us in terms of just getting around the ball and being around the ball.
It's a bit of an odd question, but does the turf color, does that factor at all into your preparation or watching the film? I mean, is that something
I kind of chuckle because it's not a big thing, it's a thing that we just got to be conscientious of, that we have to continue to educate our team on. Kind of affects what kind of colors you want to wear, so we got to plan for that, just to make sure that maybe gray on gray is not the best look when you got a gray turf and us wearing gray. So we just go, making sure that Cole is comfortable with the helmet color that we're wearing, just the details, and making sure that we've thought everything through the right way. I think we got in the teal turf. We get the gray turf coming up. We put ourselves in a position. Maybe we're in a potato bowl. We get the blue turf out there in Idaho. But we'll whatever the situation is, we'll make sure we have a plan for it.
Anything else for Coach? Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.